I mentioned YouTube. And I don't know if y'all have kept up with
the
new updates to YouTube, and all of this is coming because of Logan Paul and his stupidity. And there's no way to say it nicely. It was stupidity.
There's I'll use there's I cannot remember the guy's name now. A friend of mine shared this video, and it was about a Japanese man sharing his thoughts about the whole like Logan Paul video, and it was very, very well done. Like it wasn't just the the suicide forced incident. It was like his whole like
that's what
but he did a really good job at explaining it. And he was like, had this been like if the force thing had been the first time thing, like the only thing he'd done, he's like, yes, it was bad, but people make mistakes, they learn from it. But he was like, going back through a lot of his old videos, he's like, this is just who he is. Like I wish I could remember the guy's name, but he did a really good job at explaining thoughts about it.
Somebody that I watch a lot is Philip DeFranco.
Yeah.
He did a very good job of laying into and I loved how some of the bigger personalities on YouTube has not backed him at all because it was it was so dumb. And you look at what he was doing through
it was disrespectful too.
Incredibly disrespectful.
He was putting dead fish on people's car, putting handing someone a dead fish and walking away, and just doing so much disrespectful stuff to the Japanese culture.
Yeah, it was terrible.
And to top it all off, then he goes into the suicide forest and he's filming a dead body. And the worst thing about it is, yes, when you open up the video, it says, hey, this contains mature subjects. Do not watch, if you're underage. But guess what he had as the freaking
thumbnail?
The dead body. Yeah. It just doesn't make sense. And, I hate that YouTube has had to become much stricter, but in a way I'm kind of glad they do. It's hurting other people because of someone's stupidity. Something that someone knows they should not be putting on there, because there's so many people who suffer from depression, thoughts of suicide, and it's not the answer. And he came out and he had an apology. The first apology was so bad, and then he got so much flack for that. He came out with a second apology, which felt more real, but we'll never fully know if it was completely real or if he was just doing that to kind of help with the backlash he was getting.
What it was also the man who on this video is talking about, his name is That Japanese Man Yuta. He's very Yuta. He talked about the apology videos. He's not sorry for the content. He's sorry that he got in trouble for it.
Yeah, got in trouble for it.
But yeah, enough about. I don't know what to talk about.
Well,
he's garbage man. YouTube
responded, and they're all our hearts are sorry for this, that, and the other, and it goes to this point, and let me find where it is. And it took them quite some time before they even responded to this.
And
it took them how do we do this?
Yeah.
And it took them a while to even react to anything. That thing was trending for way too long.
Yeah, it was.
And there was no algorithm for them to be able to, and they didn't take it down. Logan took it down.
Yep.
And YouTube dropped the ball.
Yeah, they did. So, the reason why everything, their PR people were just like, how on earth do we come back from this? So...
I'm trying to find it. I can't find it. Pull it up. Again, this is not all planned. We're just kind of going off the cuff. But they're like, we're sorry for this. We're sorry for the family and all of this sort of stuff. And it just felt like we're trying to cover our butts because of our supporters, our advertisers and everything. But what gets me is that anytime any controversies happen, even if it's where, the Wall Street Journal did the hit piece on PewDiePie, that whole situation and apocalypse happened from that.
Yeah.
They didn't punish the big YouTubers. They didn't punish the person that is causing these things, because here's why. They're the ones that bring in the money. They're the ones that have the most views. And Logan Paul and Jake Paul, both, I do not watch their content. I do not support them at any sort of way, but they bring in the views. So instead of punishing them, they're punishing smaller creators.
Yep.
Instead of hiring, and they said they're going to have more people actually viewing content and checking things and all of this sort of stuff. I understand you cannot watch all the content that is being put up on there.
No, I mean,
There was also, I don't know if y'all have seen this part of it. I think Philip DeFranco talked about this, where the kid stuff, like people were putting on, like they were tagging stuff as like kid shows, but it was like completely like weird stuff, like they were stabbing people with needles and all of this kind of stuff. That was going on, but that was sliding under the radar. And they were getting so many views because it was kid stuff.
Yeah.
They'd be dressed up like as Elsa and all these characters, but they were doing like weird random stuff.
Yeah.
YouTube didn't catch any of that.
No, because they're like, okay, it passes this guideline, it passes this guideline. We don't need to watch the video. It's good to go.
Yeah.
And like I said, like I mean, they do need to have some people like or an algorithm that kind of figures something out that flags it. Like, I mean, I'm sure it was getting so many red flags, and just like the Logan Paul movie, it got so many flags, and it was trending, and they didn't even take it down.
Yeah.
Logan Paul took it down himself.
Yeah.
And it's just it's a mess.
And we're in apology society right now.
Yeah.
Somebody messes up, Apple's messed up, EA's messed up, Activision is messed up. We're human in nature, but when things go past so many people and nobody says anything and it goes out to the public, like there were a lot of people with Logan Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There were a lot of people with Logan Paul. There should have been something said. There should have been something said by YouTube. But now YouTube has instated this new thing. I'll kind of read it to you. We don't read anymore in here. But here's the email that we received to both of our channels, both Nerd Cave and Nerd Cave Gaming. What's changing? Under the new eligibility requirements announced today, your YouTube channel, Nerd Cave, is no longer eligible for monetization because it does not meet the new threshold of 4,000 hours of watch time within the past 12 months and 1,000 subscribers. As a result, your channel will lose access to all monetization tools and features associated with the YouTube Partner Program on February 20th, 2018, unless you surpass this threshold in the next 30 days. Accordingly, this email serves as 30 days notice of that your YouTube Partner Program terms are terminated. Now, any money that we've made on YouTube so far, we'll get. Like they'll send us a check and all of that. And I'm not sure they didn't cover this. I'm assuming if we pass that threshold, we'll become monetized and everything.
So, yes.
But it goes back to, instead of punishing the people that have caused a problem, instead of demonetizing them, instead of monitoring their content, Logan Paul and Jake Paul have done stuff that has caused problems.
And it's not just their stint in Japan. Like,
Yeah.
their stuff is disruptive wherever they go.
Yep.
Yeah. Instead of having a crew to monitor their stuff, I know we have a free speech and all of this, but there are guidelines on YouTube.
Yeah.
That video of the suicide forest did not follow the guidelines.
No.
They should have a team watching their stuff.
How it should be done is if you have a flagged video, like if it's flagged, as inappropriate content, the people who are supposed to be watching needs to watch your channel for however many months, make sure everything's good, and then move on. I have people dedicated to these people who are making the bad stuff, and leave the people like us who are making good content. We're
Family friendly content.
you're not going to find anything that my grandmother could watch our show and not be good at it. Holly's grandmother has tuned into our live stream at one time.
Yeah.
And we talk about the games, we talk about the movies, but we do it in a way where if I had a 5-year-old son, I'd be cool with him watching us.
Yeah.
But they're going to let the people like Logan Paul, Jake Paul, and all these people, PewDiePie. Not that PewDiePie did something.
Well, he later did something wrong.
I'm talking about the first point.
Yeah.
But like instead of focusing on them and all the other people who are causing problems, they're just they're really getting nothing like done to them. They're getting a don't do that again.
Yeah.
And, I mean, we're getting demonetized.
You're getting a
Yeah, we're getting demonetized and all that, and we don't make a ton of money
No,
on
I mean,
YouTube.
that-
Like
that's-
our money is made from Patreon, from the people that support us and everything. And thank you for that.
Yeah.
You made a lot of things possible, and we appreciate that. But it comes to the point of, okay, if you're demonetizing our channel, I don't want to see an ad ran on our channel unless it's baked in.
yeah.
Like if I see something that is ran on our, and I want everybody to let us know
Yes,
after the February 20th date, if there's an ad ran on the Nerd Cave that is before like pre-roll anything, that should not happen.
No, absolutely not.
And I'm assuming that it won't, but you know what?
you never know.
Assuming does. Now, my biggest thing is, this is all happening, and we could get all up in arms. They're taking away our money and all of this kind of stuff. But when it comes down to it, I don't really I care because it's affecting a lot of small creators. And I understand where they're coming from because there are a lot of people that open up a YouTube account and they start posting stuff.
Yeah.
And that stuff isn't always good stuff. They should monitor. And I know that sounds like crazy talk because there's so many channels.
It's literally impossible to watch.
It's impossible to do. But if you're going to do this to these smaller channels, you need to go start watching the content from your bigger channels. Mm-hmm. And this is what makes me extremely happy. Twitch has come in and they've partnered up with Disney, and they're bringing people over like Markiplier, Jacksepticeye to create content that is exclusive to Twitch.
That is a very smart move.
And I'm just like,
and plus they have Disney backing them.
Yeah.
You have the evil corporate mouse overlord backing you, you're probably gonna win.
yeah. So it just it puts a bad taste in my mouth, but I'm not discouraged. I'm excited for all the stuff that we're doing here.
Yeah.
Because we have Patreon. And I'm not trying to push that as an ad, but we have Patreon, and that's where our funding has come from so far
and that's
in
why,
our pockets.
It doesn't necessarily hurt us. Like the reason that I'm upset about it is because there are people who
do have that as
do,
income.
and I mean it might not be their main income, but
But it's still it helps.
it helps. And they might not have Patreons,
Yeah.
or anything like that. I mean, it's just, it's sad that it's what YouTube's coming to, but I mean, if there's ever a time for Twitch to make some big moves, it's now.
It's now, yeah.
Twitch and Facebook need to do something. Like Facebook needs to really I know I watch a lot of videos on Facebook, but they need to really make video on demand on their website something better.
They've gotten a lot better because I know ESPN and stuff like that are having
The shows are really good. Like I'm hoping that we will get a show eventually, because that would be an awesome thing to have.
Is that a thing you can do on Facebook?
Yeah, they have like Rooster Teeth has a show which everyone should check out. It's called Master and Apprentice, and it's about making props for
Oh, yes, I
cosplay and
have heard of
everything.
that.
It
Yeah.
is awesome.
I'm gonna need to check that out.
It is
even
awesome.
Bigger shows like Pardon the Interruption and stuff like that. Like I get a notification every time ESPN puts one on the Facebook, and it's their entire show.
Yeah, I like it, and it has a little bit more features and everything. I think Facebook has such a huge user base that they are set to do something
They
big.
need to cultivate this.
I'm sure that they're all their people are brainstorming how to push that service and make it bigger, make it better in the wake of YouTube.
Yeah.
YouTube right now.
Once they introduced Facebook Live, I mean that took off.
Yeah.
And
And everybody can do it. There's no barrier to entry on that. And that's the cool thing is my father or my mother could go live right now if they had Facebook accounts. But they could go live right now. And I think that's the coolest thing because everybody sees so many different things. And I think that's why Vine was such a big thing is
I love Vine.
anybody could make content. It was 6 seconds. Somebody could do something interesting for 6 seconds.
Yeah.
You know?
And also to challenge people to do something creative in 6 seconds.
Yeah. And it spun off people's career from that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like,
Zach King,
Logan Paul.
yeah.
oh, is he on that?
Yeah, that's where he started.
But like, you're right. Like, I mean, I still go on YouTube and watch like Vine.
I do too. I do it all the time.
Because there's some really funny ones.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Never
of course,
fails.
my father would call me
Hey, it's not your
doing
mom.
my dad's calling me right now.
But last thing that I would just want to talk about is the movie that'll be coming out sometime this year. I can't remember the exact name, but Ready Player One.
Mhm.
Nick posted on our Facebook page talking about if we haven't read Ready Player One, we need to. So as soon as I saw that, because I've been wanting to read the book, but I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna wait till the movie comes out. Well, when I saw that, Nick, I went on and I bought the book. I had a credit on Audible, so I bought it. And I have consumed that book like no other book I've consumed.
Mhm.
Like, it has been great. I'm glad we were able to give you some choices for books as well. But, like, Ready Player One, not only does it play on your nostalgia of loving all things 80s and 90s, like, I mean, the book is just interesting in itself. Because it's delving into so many different things, like, stuff that we wished we could have. Like, I wished we had something as immersible as the Oasis. Because, I mean, what video game playing, nerd wouldn't love to have something like that? And getting to kind of be put into Wade's shoes, which is the main character. He goes by Percival in the
In the Oasis, yeah.
and just being able to go through his story and seeing what's happening with everything, and getting to see all these really cool Easter eggs, like him playing and getting a perfect score in Pac-Man, these different things like that, like him talking about how he won the DeLorean. And like he's upgraded it and it has like the Ecto 8, the Ghostbusters license plate on it, like just different things like that. He talks about in his warehouse, once he becomes really big into the game, he has the Firefly, the ship from Firefly, and he has an X-wing that he uses to get around quick things. Like it's just so cool to be able to, and Holly's even listened to it at a few times, and she's like, how do, because they're talking about R2-D2. They're talking, R2-D2 was he was doing a turntable and playing music at a party. Like, she's like, how do they, the copyrights for all that stuff? I was like, I'm sure they've worked something out with all these people, especially going into the movie.
Yeah.
But, because, I mean, it's going to have tons.
There's Overwatch characters in it.
Yeah, we've seen, I think it's Tracer.
And you can kind of see Mercy in the background.
You've seen Battletoads, Ninja Turtles, Speed Racer.
There was Transformers in there, I want to say.
I mean, just so many. Gundam.
Yeah.
I love Gundam.
I do too. But and there's so many, like, 80s and 90s, like, hit you in the feels. And, I've had the book for a week now, and I'm already halfway through it. And like the Sixers is what they're called, but the I guess the evil media organization that's trying to take over. Just seeing like the battle between them and they're called the High Five, but the five people who are topping the leaderboard. Artemis and all them. Seeing how the reactions and everything between those characters have just been phenomenal. Like this has probably been thrusted into like my top 5 books.
I don't know. It came in a loot box a few years ago.
The
Ready Player One came in a loot box a few years ago.
Like the game or
the book? Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That would have been really cool.
Yeah. Now, if I wanted to send a very lengthy and wordy email to YouTube.
You'd want to make sure it's,
grammatically correct, right?
Correct.
Now, when I went to school, they didn't really teach grammar.
They didn't teach us no grammar.
That's that J. Florida.
they didn't. It was we were taught the FCAT, structure, and it really wasn't about grammar or anything like that. I don't even remember. The first time I ever had a grammar lesson, I remember I had it like 6th grade, didn't really stick, and then when I had English composition in college, that was the first time that I had anything.
And I felt like I was so far behind. But, there's something out there that can help you.
Yes.
Tell us about it.
For the listeners of the Nerd Cave podcast, Grammarly is offering a free download of the Grammarly software. Now, I use Grammarly every day. And anytime we do an ad read or anything, we actually use the product. Like, we're not like a lot of people like, use this thing or whatever. Like, we actually have used it. It has helped me so much. Like, it's actually helped me understand where commas go.
Preach.
It's actually helped me know where commas go and different things like that, and how to structure sentences much better.
Like, even with me, I'm having to send emails out to my members, to my coworkers, to, high-ranking people in, Penn Air Federal Credit Union. And, I don't want to sound like some dumb idiot that's like,
no commas anywhere.
I would like to meet you on this day.
And they're like, Robbie, that was like 30 lines of a run-on sentence. Oh, here's a period for you.
Yeah.
Like, Grammarly has helped me understand so much more of where to put, because like you said, Jay really didn't teach us much about it.
No, they didn't. And I don't know if you've got it yet. They actually have a keyboard on the phone now.
I didn't know they had a keyboard, but I do have the Grammarly. I think mine's Ginger. I don't think I have.
Yeah, they have a Grammarly keyboard on your phone now that works just like it. Okay. It's awesome. So if you struggle, or if you have important emails that you need to write, or recommendation letters, I use it like when I have to write a recommendation letter from one of my students or whatever. I put it in there. I start typing. Make sure everything looks good. Grammarly is the way to go. To download Grammarly today, go to getgrammarly.com/nerdcave. Again, that's grammarly.com/nerdcave to download Grammarly for free. You don't have to pay anything for this. This is totally and utterly free. On the house. Just for you. I'm excited. Like, I love Grammarly. Grammarly has helped me for quite some time be literate.
Oh, yeah.
Be literate. So
it helps.
Yes, it does. Definitely. All right. Any other things that we want to talk about?
I'm trying, just on the vein of video game movies, going back a little bit. But recently I was going down the IMDb rabbit hole like I usually do in my spare time. Because I love movies. I saw a thing. It was, or I can't remember exactly how I got to it, but eventually I got to the part where it was Tom Holland, was the new Spider-Man. Does a great job of that. But Tom Holland. He's listed. If you look at it, it's still pre-production as Nathan Drake for an Uncharted movie.
Yeah, he's supposed to be young Nathan Drake.
God bless America. Okay, my friend and I saw that. I told my friend, and I was like, I think he would make a fantastic young Nathan Drake.
Yeah.
But he's too young to be regular Nathan Drake.
No, he's supposed to be young Nathan Drake.
Okay.
I hope Nathan Fillion is.
It's one of those I would love that, but at the same time I kind of hope they find someone new who would be really good. If they can't, then Nathan Fillion's totally fine.
I feel like Nathan Fillion would kill it.
Oh no, he would absolutely kill it.
I feel like,
but it'd be nice to have some new blood in Hollywood.
When you look at the animated video game Nathan Drake, I feel like it was just a perfect fit.
No, absolutely. And plus, they can just call him Nate, and he'd just be like, yeah, what?
Yeah.
My friend actually, she was like, what about Liam Hemsworth? And I was like, that would be interesting. I don't necessarily agree.
Liam Hemsworth is
also, but
a cardboard
he's done
box.
Serious roles. He's never really done a comedic part.
He's like a cardboard box.
Yeah, no, I was like, she was saying look wise, if he could bring on the, the lightheartedness that Chris Hemsworth has, then it could be a decent fit. And I was like, maybe.
I just don't.
I
just don't
want
see
them to
it.
bring in some new blood.
Yeah.
I want new blood in Hollywood. It's all the same people.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
I'll get buff and I'll go do it.
Okay.
One last thing for me. If you haven't seen The Greatest Showman yet, you're missing out. Like,
I heard
I've-
unfortunate things about it.
what have you heard about it?
Some of my friends because we all love musicals. They were very disappointed in the music.
Okay, there's only been one movie that I've bought the soundtrack from, and that was The Watchmen. This is
the why?
I don't know. It just had some songs that I really like.
God.
Here's their reasoning is that I was talking to her about it, we were discussing the movie. Is that with the success of Hamilton, very pop, rap music with musical, and it was new, it was really cool. So it was kind of like they took a page, like for what you told me, she's like, it was like they took a page out of that. The musics were very pop-like. They were songs that were written not to be for a musical, but to be put onto the radio. That's what she was saying. Because musical
friends
songs.
Are dumb.
No. Because they were saying that it's songs in musicals are supposed to be, they progress the story. It's supposed to be about dialogue, not just they sang a Pink song at one point or something.
A Pink song.
Yeah, what was it? It was
no, they do add on to the story because you have Rewrite the Stars is when the two characters who are forbidden to be in love are able to sing a song about the world's wanting to keep us apart, but we want to be with each other. And she said that those two characters, all their stuff was totally fine. The other side is when Hugh Jackman and Zac Efron are in this bar.
He's trying to convince them.
They're trying to convince.
That was
them
the
to
only
come
song that they were like, yeah, that was actually a musical song. Everything else was not.
But then you also have This Is Us when the bearded lady is singing the song
that song.
Because Hugh Jackman. Then why are you saying the music sucks if you're that song's good?
No.
That song's good. These songs are good.
No, that song. No, that's the opera singer, correct? Is she the opera singer? That's
no.
Okay.
That's never enough. And
Okay.
she's not an opera singer because that song was pop. That's the only problem that I had with the music.
Yes, that's what they were saying. They were like, don't say she's an opera singer, and then
because
immediately
she's
have
saying
them
pop.
sing. Yeah.
But the music is really good. I have the soundtrack. I've listened to the soundtrack. I've watched the movie twice in theaters. It's really good. Go see it. Don't listen to her.
I know, they were saying go see it for Zephron and Zendaya, that they were amazing. So
it was really good. It was really well done. And yes, there was a few songs that didn't add to the movie, but they were good in themselves. But there was a lot more of the music that tied into the show, that progressed the show. Watch it for yourself. Form your own opinion.
I need.
Don't
I need
follow your friends. Be a leader.
You're like, follow my opinion.
Follow my opinion. I highly trust their opinion when it comes to musicals. I want to see it for myself still, but I was very sad.
I've also watched tons and tons and tons of musicals.
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying you haven't. I'm just saying that was.
It's my forte as well.
Yeah, unless it's Disney.
I haven't watched Kinky Boots.
Champ over
I
here.
haven't watched Kinky Boots or anything like that yet.
You have watched Kinky Boots.
No, I watched Rent.
No, we
I
watched
love
Kinky
Rent.
Boots together. I thought we watched it together.
We never
Probably
did.
someone else.
I thought
We had talked about it, but we never did.
I thought we did. I know I watched it with
Amy.
No, it was before Amy.
Ooh.
And Brittany was there, so I figured that you were. It's a good movie. You should go watch it. Kinky Boots. All right, it's time. As I've got a part of a shade
sorry.
in here.
That's my fault.
Form your own opinion.
So each and every week, we're going to spin the wheel
of
We'll cover it with
nerdicality.
that is too close. Copyright infringement.
Yeah, I know. We're going to spin our wheel, and
a wheel of nerdiness.
some of these will have to be planned. Some of these will be happening right after.
We would have to make a separate video for this at a later date.
Yeah.
Depending on what we get.
Yeah. If it's a stare off, we'll do it right now.
Yeah. But, this week we're doing something special because this is the first full week of us kicking things off. So we've not only doubled your chance to win a prize, we've tripled your chance to win a prize.
The caveat to that is you have to be a Patreon supporter at the $1 level or higher.
Because we really don't have a way of
Tracking our listeners down.
Who's listened? So we're gonna. It's literally You put in your debit card or your bank account information. And,
Send us your social security
I
number.
was just about to say social security number.
and all it is
And your
$1.
first
Obviously, it's an easy process. You can download the app or go to the website and do it. But
Patreon.com/nerdcave.
Yes.
Just so everybody knows.
or you can just search Nerd Cave on the Patreon app and we pop up as well. But that's just the easiest way for us to be able to do it, because then we'd have to be like, oh, he liked this one, which means he may have watched. It's just the easiest way to do it. So
Yeah. All right.
let's do it.
You guys smell real good.
Let's make it happen.
As I knock, so the audio listeners,
The wheel is on the
the
table.
wheel is now on the table. Let me make sure that this is like flat. Like our wheel has had the tendency to like move backwards.
It moves forward just because the wheel is so heavy.
Everybody
that it
ready?
moves forward.
Everybody ready?
We're going
Yep,
now,
spin
real
it. And you hear that beautiful bean footage.
Like, do I need to stop it?
No, just
It will stop.
Because I know it's going to
Lord God, don't ever spin it that much. It's like a little. You're like, hey-ya!
It's now gravity's taking it.
It's okay.
And okay. It's
All right, what is
I have
that?
no idea what it is. Go look.
I think it's World Championship. It's a purple.
It's a purple.
I have no idea.
Giveaway!
It's a giveaway.
Yay.
All right, we'll be.
I wanted to try again.
Well, that's it. You get one spin. All right. So there you go. We'll be contacting one lucky. Stop spinning. One lucky winner over on Patreon.com. If you want a chance to win, now this isn't our raffle tier, which is at $5. This is just $1.
This is just $1.
$1.
We don't even know what we're giving away yet.
No, we'll look in a prize box. We'll contact somebody and
I like how you want this.
we'll send them out. Be like, hey, you're a winner.
Winner, chicken dinner.
All right, guys. We hope you enjoyed episode 240 of the Nerd Cave podcast. I know I certainly did.
I did. It was fun.
It was worth $1.
To make me what?
Holler. Technically, it's more than $1, but we won't go there. Guys, thanks for watching. Go support us. Watch us. Share us. Do all of those things in between.
Thanks.
I don't know if I'm going to call us that, but whatever.
We'll come up with something.
We'll come up with something. Hope that you have a blessed week. This has been Zach.
Robbie?
And Allie.
Have a blessed week. I said it earlier.
Yeah.
It's all good. Bye, everybody.